Video games are a wonderful branch of media. Whether it's for their addicting gameplay, immersive stories, or just the sheer sadistic action players partake in, we all have a blast experiencing them, and wish for others to do the same. Since gaming has grown to a multi-billion-dollar industry, in theory it sounds like a paradise for gamers to freely roam and share their love for games with others to create a fantastic community. Of course, this is not the case, since the grand majority of fanbases are rabid, immature, and simply downright annoying. Thanks to the human ego, a massive number of fan brats are simply unbearable to deal with. But with the massive galaxy cluster of insufferable twats to encounter, there are 5 that stand out like sharks on the deep blue sea. Just for a disclaimer, just because I hate the fanbase doesn't mean that I hate the games they are infatuated with. In fact, a few of these are from games or corporations that I love. And also, I am not talking about every single person who likes the games. If any of the things that I criticize don't apply to you, then don't be offended because it's not targeted towards you. So, are you sure you want to cross this bridge? Trust me, it's going to be an ugly ride. This is your last warning. If you can't deal with human stupidity, turn back now. You're staying. Okay, let's cross this logic-forsaken path. Oh Palatina, these unstable group of twats. Oh how these packs of uneducated wolves just piss me the fuck off. I like Smash Bros. I absolutely love Smash Bros. But it's really difficult to find a community of fans who can agree on which game of the franchise to play. Ever since the release of Brawl, the Smash Brothers fanbase started to crumble and deteriorate because the Melee competitors could not play the game the same way as its GameCube predecessor. They whine and moan because the engine they orgasm over is gone. Come 2014 with the new Smash Bros game and it's the exact same thing all over again. It's not just personal preference, they will go out of their way to ostracize anyone who prefers playing one of the other 3 games in the franchise. But the irritation of the fans isn't just limited to competitive play. In both Brawl and Smash 4, some fans have proven to never be content with the overall roster. Whether it's because, clones suck! Or, why isn't Crystal in this game? Boo fucking who! No matter how many of their wishes are granted, they will always find something to be miserable about. And I'm not exaggerating. I've seen comments in videos displaying trophies where some people complain about their favorite characters not being honored as a trophy. Is this for real? Complaining about trophies? That is just pathetic. Look, I'll admit that I was slightly bummed when the number of trophies was less than I expected. But in the end of the day, it doesn't subtract from my enjoyment of playing the game. This is a fanbase that has become notorious for being a cancer, spreading into multiple websites and wreaking major damage. We all know who I'm talking about. The hellspawns are literally everywhere. It's the goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog brats. For years they have plagued the internet, letting the most minuscule and trivial changes get to their hollow skulls. Oh look, it's 1999 and Sonic Adventure was just released on the Dreamcast.
Green eyes! Sonic does not have green eyes! This game sucks now!
So a simple change in character design will embark them to throw such temper tantrums. Then there's 08 with Sonic Unleashed.
Oh my god! What is that? Sonic should not be a werehog! Instant shit! Why is there no speed? Sonic must always have speed.
But didn't Sonic the Hedgehog have a few more slow precision-based platforming sections itself?
Yeah, but it was fast.
And just recently with Sonic Boom...
Oh my god! What the fuck is that? Blue arms? Both knuckles? How dare they change the character designs again?
If you ask me, all this just sounds like they cannot accept change and want everything to stay the same way like it was back in the Genesis days. That's not a good reason for hating a game. If you want to hate on a certain game with a franchise, use more credible reasons, like its hectic camera, repetitive and redundant gameplay, or overwhelming number of glitches. These are all valid reasons for disliking a game. So please, no more of that green eyes, werehog, and too many characters male cow feces. Because in the end, what makes a Sonic game successful is the gameplay. Change is bound to happen if something runs for over 2 decades. Look at Super Mario Sunshine. It's so much different from Super Mario World and 64, but the grand majority of fans still love or at least accept it as part of the franchise, unlike the Sonic fanbase with other games like Shadow the Hedgehog. So really, no more.
Why is Sonic kissing a human female?
You know what? I agree with this one. Now, who could be equally as infamous for being obnoxious like the Sonic fanbase? Where to look? Of course, the Gen 1ers. Yuck! Disgusting, putrid, festering bullshit. Okay, petty insults aside, I cannot stand the Gen 1ers. For some reason, they like to think that just because they grew up at the time of Pokemania, they suddenly have a privilege to boast themselves as the true Pokemon fans, when in reality, they just sound like a bunch of nostalgia-blinded nitwits. While the classic Sonic fantards are blinded by their nostalgia to accept any form of change, the Gen 1ers do so with the fact that they are just plain wrong about their arguments. Let's debunk some of their bullshit.
I only like the original 151 Pokemon.
By original, do you mean the ones who were in the drawing boards of the first game, or only those who made it in the final stages of development? Because if it's the former, then Scizor and Tyranitar shouldn't be given shit, because they were designed before Victory Bell.
They'll never make games as good as the originals.
Never make games as good as the originals? You mean those with the broken psychic type, graphics laughably outdated, and the idiotic mechanic of special attack and special defense being just one stat? Ultimately making the game unbalanced because those with poor special stats were severely outclassed? I can go on and on about showing all the bullshit with red and blue, but that would take a considerable amount of time. So I'll just link you to a page showing everything wrong with those games. Get off your nostalgia and start viewing things more objectively. We've all dealt with these man-children.
My Xbox is way better than your PlayStation. No, my PlayStation is vastly superior to your Xbox. No, it doesn't have Halo and Gears of War, and it's just for gaming, while mine can be used for multiple forms of entertainment. Well, mine has the best launch in console history, and it's super successful. Why aren't people buying a Wii U? It's the best console ever!
So, who exactly am I going to include here? Hey, why not all 3 of them? Console fanboys are idiotic, moronic group of individuals that are easily swayed by the broadest of rumors and are quick to defend their own beloved platform and swarm the opposing one mindlessly. In the case of an event where their system of preference makes a huge milestone, they celebrate their victory of the console war despite the fact that it just started. If the corporation of their competitor slips up, it's a victory. But when their company does the exact same mistake, it's perfectly okay, and they white knight it to no end. They have this delusional belief that their masters are these omnipotent silhouettes that can do no wrong, despite the fact that they are humans as well. But that is not the worst part. For some reason, just because they own only one of the three, that somehow translates to the need to hate on the competition and the fans who prefer them. There is nothing wrong with owning more than one console for a single generation. In fact, it's the exact opposite. One can now access different exclusives, providing more games to play. There is no need for someone to drop out of the console war. It only hurts the industry more because competition is what indirectly creates improvement. If monopoly occurs, the consumers, us, would lose. Take a console fanboy, grant them a Mount Everest-sized dose of arrogance, and just wait for a travesty. The PC elitists. If you ever look at a dictionary and look for words like arrogant, stuck up, and snob, you will find definitions that perfectly describe the PC elitist. These low-life scum perfectly show what's wrong with gamers, no, with humanity. They are constantly full of themselves and suffer severely from a superiority complex. They obsess over having the most optimal hardware performance and constantly degrade console gamers for playing on inferior hardware. Admittedly, some of the arguments PC gamers use are logical, but it doesn't justify creating a class ranking for gamers. Console fanboys are annoying and childish, but that is more tolerable than stuck-up douchebags who are so self-righteous that they somehow feel they have the right to judge and dictate gaming as a whole. Oh, PC Master Race! Shove that hunk of bullshit right back into your ass, because it doesn't make you better than me. You are just like those kids from the rich neighborhoods who live in large manors with a swimming pool, massive green field, and expensive toys, who likes to devalue those from the ghetto who live in slums and low-income housing. This kid is not superior to this one, and PC gamers are not superior to console gamers. And that's why I despise them. They don't just call others morons for liking consoles, they outright devalue them, calling them filthy peasants, saying that they are either unimportant to gaming or straight up accuse them for holding gaming back. Look, I'll admit that PC gaming is superior to console gaming from a technical standpoint. But here's the thing, there is no point of having the hardware so powerful if the library of games is full of I don't give a shit titles. Because in the end of the day, I play video games to have fun. I don't care what hardware it is. If it has games that pique my interest, then I will consider owning it. If you like the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, or PC either exclusively or own a combination of the four, that's fine by me. It's all just personal preference. Yes, we are all graphic whores at times, and take some games too seriously. But in reality, they're just games. Hobbies, not careers. So there is no point for this nonsensical flaming. Because in the end of the day, who really cares what some stranger on the internet enjoys playing?